Hello, my lovely book and movie enthusiast people. Welcome back to Procrastinate with Books. Today, we'll be embarking on another episode of our books to screen adaptation series. So, hop in and join me. In this episode, we will be diving deeper into a captivating visual experience of graphic novels and mangas. In this particular video, I will be sharing some notable translations that have been done wonderfully. Now, what I mean by translation is that the magic has been exported from the pages of the book and immediately transported into a different arena of screen altogether. And viewers across the world have noted that this one is an amazing translation and they have been captivated by it in the enchanting world of manga, graphic novels, and the anime translations too. So, whether you are a fan of superheroes, magical adventures, heartwarming stories, or anything else altogether, these graphic and manga novels have a very wide range of narratives available for you guys to check in. So, I think there is something for each one of you. So, without any further ado, grab your drink of choice and let's tune in further. First book on our list is Persepolis. This is the story of Satrapi's whole coming of age life, and this majorly focuses on different phases of her life. Now, first thing first, this book is also available in four different parts, which are the shorter versions, each book focusing on separate part. However, the one that's mentioned in here is actually a complete compilation of all those parts and is available to read in English language too. It was initially published into a different local language, but considering its wide popularity, I think a lot of people have started to learn about it. Now, talking about the story of a female protagonist starts right from her childhood age, where she's actually growing up in a loving family in Tehran. But there's the Islamic revolutions that are going on in the society nearby, and she's actually simply observing and cultivating her own experiences and behavior based on the bipolar differences in the private lives of people living in there and the public life that is showcased to the outside world. The sheer differential amount of those two lives is what is showcased beautifully in the book. This book is now being translated into a movie. I think it was done back in 2007, but I recently watched it and I was immediately captivated by it. So I think everybody should watch that movie. It's hardly 1 hour 15 minutes long or something, and it's really worthwhile. Next up on our list is The House Moving Castle. Now, this is a textual book actually, but has been translated into wonderful anime, and I really think that you guys should check it out, considering how cute the characters are. Anyways, moving about the storyline, it's about Sophie, who has the misfortune of being the eldest daughter and not having the best destinies following her path, whereas her other two sisters are enjoying her life, dating people, eating the best food, and etc. etc., chasing better things in her life. But she is somehow stuck making hats for her aunt's shop, and amongst that hat making scenario, she somehow stumbles upon a witch who ends up cursing her and turning her younger self into a grouchy old lady. And now the only option that she has to come back to her normal self is to find Howl in the ever moving castle that keeps on rotating throughout the world. And from there, the whole journey starts, where she actually meets Howl in person and how things work in the house. She's trying to figure things out, and the story, I really won't spoil it further for you guys, but it is really interesting. It's a cozy, warm story, perfect for people who actually want to not read something spooky but instead want something comforting and cozy. This would be a great fit for you guys to read in. Our next movie recommendation for you guys is from The Spirited Away. The movie name and the book name both are same, and it's a really cute little adventure of a 10-year-old. Chihiro, our 10-year-old girl, is actually moving to a new house with her parents, but accidentally his father takes a wrong turn. And that's where they land up in a forest, lost with no path forward. So they start wandering off ahead, and there they discover a tunnel through which they come across a very abandoned, old but beautiful amusement park sort of a thing. And as they're wandering around looking at things what are there presently in their surroundings, she suddenly sees that their parents are eating something and they have turned into pigs. And suddenly there's sunset, and the land in which she was beautifully wandering around has suddenly turned into a ghost land where various creatures live. All this little 10-year-old can do is to find a place to live in this strange little dangerous world and somehow get her parents back to their normal form and fled away from this place. It is a beautiful anime translation. The movie is also really good, especially the effects and the various creatures that are introduced in the story are really cute. And despite how old you get, the inner child in you will be really satisfied once you watch this movie. Tales from the Earthsea is based on a Japanese children's book, again published by the same studio in a translation. Here, the story is not end to end translated, but instead they have taken adaptation from the plots and the characters of this particular book and been inspired into a new story. There are certain variations that you may find in here, but both of them have kept the main essence of the book magic altogether intact. So that's why it's there on the list. The story here is about a new fantasy world realm built up called as Earthsea, and the initial books actually talk about the world that they're living in, what certain rituals are there, how certain customs came to be in separate part, and from there the story progresses. It's a really short, entertaining book with not much going on, but a very fascinating world build up, just like Lord of the Rings, that you can delve into, but on a lesser complex side. On the notes of Japanese children's story, I have another one for you, Kikis Home Delivery Service, which is based on another old classic children's book tale. And this one is really cute. Obviously, I think all the Japanese children's stories are really good, and considering that many of them have been adapted into manga or certain anime setup, I think it's really cute to watch them. The story here is about a young witch trainee named Kiki who is trying to figure out her way into the world, and that's where she leaves her home to, grow old and find her own path and discusses things with different communities. And while she's actually leveraging a place to stay for accommodation purposes, she manages to get a hold of a place that is allowing us to stay if she helps her take care of the bakery and the deliveries in there. So she starts her delivery services on the broomstick that she has, hence the name The Witch's Delivery. And from there, things take a toll, and initially, her delivery service obviously suffers and things turn out really poorly. And she lands up into a separate place. There, she gets her broomstick made up back together so she can start off again, and the whole adventure takes place from there. So that's the whole theme plot build up. So if witches story are something that you want to check out, be sure to tap in. And the final book that I have for you is Nimona, which has been translated into a same named movie series that just came out in June 2023 itself. So if you do enjoy stories around shapeshifters and some magical realm with a lot of fighting in it, I think this would be the one for you. The story plot here is about Nimona, who is a very angsty shapeshifter, and she really loves creating nuances, and then she meets the black heart person who is basically a vengeful person with a lot of vendetta, and together these two have teamed up to create havoc on the place that they are living in. Along with all the mischievous that they were already doing, they have planned to reveal the true faces of the people behind these government bodies who normal public claims to be their heroes, but they are really not so, and that's why they have been against them, and there are certain fights and all those things that are happening in the background. And while these fights are escalating to a higher level, it's then that the Black Heart actually realizes that Nimona's secret powers are as secret as her past, and there might be things that they might not be able to handle, especially related to her powers. And there you have it, the mesmerizing world of graphic novels, mangas, and their artistry coming up together in form of movies just for you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and you love to mesmerize yourself into the world of children's section. If you have one of your favorite graphic novels that you would love to share with us, or you have certain adaptations that you think are really great, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for joining me today on Procaffeinate with Books to discuss these amazing adaptations. Until next time, keep your coffee strong and your TBS long. Goodbye.